So, I mean, I think people are used to it by now,
Hey, everybody, guess what? We are live. I have Jill with me this afternoon. I love seeing all my friends that I usually see a lot. I feel like I see you at least once a week in normal times.
That's right. It's been strange.
And now I get to see you virtually. We're going to talk about downtown Franklin. I just have to say, can we start off the afternoon by saying I've been doing these for a while, and I just want everybody to know I'm wearing pants. Did you see the story about the reporter who got caught with no pants on?
Yes, I showed just a little bit of leg there. I think the camera went farther down than he planned. So, oops.
He's a reporter. It wasn't like it was a layperson. He should have known better. But anyway, I just thought I'd start us off with a little laugh. Just to let everybody know, I think you're wearing pants too. So
yep, absolutely.
So Jill, tell everybody a little bit about what you do in case they don't know.
Okay, thank you. And Donna, I have enjoyed these interviews you've done with various people too. I think it's a really great idea. So thank you for having me.
Yes.
My name is Jill Burgin, and I'm the Main Street Director in downtown Franklin with the Downtown Franklin Association, which is a division of the Heritage Foundation, the county's preservation organization. And we've been a certified Main Street program since 1984. And a lot of folks may not know that that's a thing, but it is. The National Trust for Historic Preservation started the National Main Street Association really to help communities that have historic downtowns revitalize those areas. As you know, retail habits changed over the past several decades, and a lot of the old downtowns were just dying off. And so it's really an economic development organization to help downtowns and their preservationists and business owners and just interested residents revitalize those really important parts of their city. And it's been a really great history lesson for me to get to know a lot of the folks that were involved, of course, are still involved today. And we've only had 4 Main Street directors here in Franklin. And currently the state Main Street director is a former DFA head, so Nancy Williams. So it's been a really great experience for me to join about a year ago now.
Has it been a year already?
Yes, I can't believe it. I think, remind me what day and month this is, but yes, just a little over a year. And I've really enjoyed getting to know the merchants. My main function really, besides keeping us certified as a national Main Street community, is to help the merchants in the downtown area with promotion. And I'm also kind of a government liaison for them if they have questions about city stuff, anything. It can be really confusing. They've got enough on their plate to try to run a small business, so I help them with that.
Yeah. Let's talk about downtown Franklin, since that's kind of your job. Tell us what it's looking like in downtown Franklin right now. Things, Puckett's just opened up yesterday for the first time, welcoming guests back. How's everything else looking downtown?
It's so weird. Downtown Franklin is gorgeous, but it's just a little empty right now. We've still got folks that are coming down there to their stores, working. If you have fewer than 10 people in the building, you can work, and they're fulfilling online orders, or they're doing curbside and things like that. But there's just not the foot traffic that we would have normally on a beautiful April day. Now Puckett's was rolling yesterday, starting around 7 a.m. I guess. They were doing well, it looked like. And Merides has kept up a pretty brisk business. But then there's other groups that have opted for different direction during this uncertain time. And one example is the McConnell restaurant group, which owns 55 South, Red Pony, and Cork and Cow. And they closed early on, and they've basically said that they're going to stay closed through at least mid-May. I think this just not knowing what exactly is going to happen has been very difficult for folks to plan. And if you have to lay off workers, which they hate to do, the last thing they want to do is have to do it again in a couple of weeks if numbers spike, case numbers and things like that. So it's different downtown than we normally are used to, but folks are really trying. They've been adapting and been very creative to try to deal with the situation.
Yeah. Talking about retail can open tomorrow, right? Tomorrow's Wednesday, talking about what day it is. What is that going to look like? And have you talked to some of the merchants? Are they all planning to open, or do you expect to see open tomorrow?
Everybody has a different approach. The state is allowing all stores to open, but that doesn't mean they all will. Some will, and they're ready to go, but others are trying to take their time, make sure they've got, the safety protocols in place, just making sure that it's going to work for their business model. And if you think about it, I mean, some of these places have had to rearrange their whole store layout to accommodate the social distancing requirements. They've had to, not only have they lost a lot of money over the last month and a half or so, but they've had to spend money too on, signage that they're required to display that talks about their safety regulations, masks, hand sanitizer, things like that. So some of them have installed plastic shields in front of their register areas. So there's been a lot to digest and to try to implement downtown, and everybody's kind of got a different approach. And I've been trying to compile a list to share with the public so they'll know who's open on what day, what hours, but it's so varied that it's hard to do. So my best advice, again, is to call the store you might be thinking about going, or check their social media and see what their plan is, because some won't open until May, which is next week.
Yeah, well, Friday, May 1st. Can you believe it?
That's true.
I can't believe. Somehow I'm like, wow, it's already May 1st.
So
Tell us
crazy.
what else the DFA is doing to help with all those merchants downtown and get through this time period.
One thing that's been really interesting to do, we have 2 social media accounts specific to the DFA, and we have an Instagram account that has a lot of followers. A lot of folks are just fans of downtown Franklin, and so they enjoy seeing different little stories and photos from the merchants and from the downtown area. And then we also have a Facebook page that doesn't quite have as many followers, but it's still a really dedicated group. So I've been trying to share to just help them promote themselves and their changing business hours and practices throughout this time. And I've tried to increase the posting, and the interaction has been great with people online. And so that's been good. And the other thing I've tried to do is, as I said before, sort of be a liaison for them on, for questions they have about official rules, things that the city is requiring, whatever the state says, things like that. My position is kind of like a reference librarian where I may not know the answer exactly, but I can figure out how to find it. And so I'm happy to serve in that role for them. There's a lot of variety, but it's been really fun. One of the things that we did was help coordinate radio interviews on WAKM that would feature some of the local stores and what they were doing. This was around Easter time. So just trying to do a lot of that coordination, general type of help.
Yeah, I'm sure that's a big job in itself. I would say you're not one of these people who are looking for things to do right now during this time. I think you've got a lot to do.
Absolutely. And it's an interesting learning experience because you find yourself, presented with questions you may not have ever thought you'd be researching before. But I've gotten to know a lot about bulk hand sanitizer and things like that. So.
Which is great because a lot of the local distilleries are offering that to merchants, and I've talked to some nonprofits who've also received gifts from local distilleries, which is great, which I think has also happened for the DFA. Is that right?
Yes. And, that's the other thing that's been so great, Donna, is to see how these businesses really kind of help each other. I mean, they had a great network before I came into this position, and there were like Twine Graphics coming up with this initiative to help nonprofits raise money. They create a T-shirt for you, and they create a little online store that lasts for 2 weeks. You promote the shirt, and you get a part of the proceeds. I thought that's a great way for them to stay in business and do some business, but also help these other nonprofits at a time when a lot of folks maybe aren't donating like they might have before. And then we have other, more simple and direct ways. A lot of the restaurants and Triple Crown Bakery, they've donated food to some of the local groups like the Boys and Girls Club, things like that, so that they can feed some of their members. So it's been really, really kind of inspiring to see how everybody's just really rallying. They're just doing the best they can.
Yeah. And that's why we all love Franklin, and that's why we all love Williamson County, right?
It's true. It's just like this endless, a group of folks, in a line saying, what can we do and how can we do it? It's really amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I think we all enjoy where we live so much that we want to preserve that, so to speak, and keep that. So we're all willing to roll up our sleeves and work to make sure it stays that way.
Absolutely. Sure.
Well, I love Twine Graphics. I have been looking, I've seen a couple of the t-shirts. Visit Franklin is working on one. Is that right?
Mm-hmm. They have one as well, and the DFA and Heritage Foundation have one that's got a vintage downtown Franklin kind of streetscape logo that we pulled out of the archives, and that's been a pretty good seller. So we're excited about that idea, and I think it's something they're going to continue, I believe. So if other nonprofits want to figure that out, they can contact Twine.
Tell us where we can find the T-shirt. Everybody will want one.
I'm sorry?
Tell us where we can find the T-shirt.
Oh, okay. So we have an online store that has a long name, but you can link to it off of the Downtown Franklin Instagram account or our webpage, the Heritage Foundation's webpage. So that's really the two best ways to do it. Okay. And Twine also has a tab, I think, on their page.
All right. Well, thanks for stopping by this afternoon, letting us know about what's going on. We'll keep following to see who's going to be reopened. And hopefully soon you can get a little bit of a break.
I can't wait to get back down there and walk around. I mean, it's really nice. Even right now, you can go spend time downtown and on the public square. But once those businesses are open back up, it's a whole new world. So I appreciate it.
All right. We'll see you soon. Bye, everybody.
Thank you.